Yo, what's going on, guys? Houston Sports Talk back in that video today. And yet again, once again, we are going to be talking about Aaron Rodgers and the possibility of where he'll be going next season. Does he stay in Green Bay? Does he get traded? Does he retire? If he gets traded, where does he get traded? The Jets, the Raiders, way more. Too many questions when it comes to Aaron Rodgers in this offseason. And I think today we have gotten definitely some nice info on where Aaron Rodgers could be headed next season. And it's definitely not going to be San Francisco. Aaron Rodgers was playing in a golf tournament today. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't think it was it wasn't one of those the match. It wasn't. I know Aaron has played in those golf tournaments. I think it's the golf tournament on TNT. It's called The Match. It wasn't that, but it was some golf tournament Aaron Rodgers was playing in today. And I don't know. I guess the announcers or whoever was, kind of like how in the match when you got those golf tournaments, Charles or whoever's talking is Aaron Rodgers can hear him, and whoever it was, I don't know, I couldn't recognize the voice. They asked him where he would be going, and he said he's not going to be going to San Francisco. No, I mean, I don't think San Francisco was probably even not even interested in him, but that crosses out a teams of who are not gonna go after Aaron Rodgers. I don't even think they will. I think they have a full quarterback room between Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. People who say the 49ers are gonna trade Trey Lance, I just don't think they will. The fact is that yes, Brock Purdy has showed a lot of potential for the 49ers in his 6 starts, or I think he played six games, and then plus his 2 playoff starts. Again, was it, 2 playoffs? Yeah, 2 playoff starts against the Seahawks and then against the Cowboys. And then I don't think we're going to really consider the Eagles as a playoff game because he played like 1 drive, got hurt, and then played the rest of the game with 1 arm after Josh Johnson got hurt. But I think you definitely got to evaluate Brock Purdy some more. 6 starts and 2 playoff games is not enough. And especially after the UCL injury, he's having surgery. He's going to be out for 6 months. Definitely don't know what he's going to look like after that. Also, you got to add the fact that Trey Lance, he's a guy that you traded 3 first-round picks for, and probably I don't even think you would. I don't even think you could get it. You could. I would doubt you'd I would doubt you could even be able to get a second-round pick for Trey Lance. So it's going to be hard for the 49ers to get rid of a guy who they traded 3 first-round picks for, and only get like a second and a fourth in return. So in that case, I think that's the 49ers QB room next season. I think it's a competition between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. So I don't think there was even a shot of Aaron Rodgers going there. But I think the 2 teams that are in the competition for Aaron Rodgers are the Raiders and the Jets, and then the Packers if he stays. And I love the possibility of him going to the Raiders. And that's the other hint that we got. Devontae Adams on Twitter today had this thing like ask 15 questions. Am I answering 15 questions? And one of the questions was like, where is Aaron Rodgers? What neighborhood will Aaron Rodgers be moving to? And Devontae Adams replied with mine. Definitely the Raiders searching for a new QB next season definitely are going to be, shopping for the quarterback. One of the most interested quarterbacks that the Raiders were in was Tom Brady. And Tom Brady retired yesterday. So that's one quarterback that that's off of the table that they were interested in. I'm sure the Raiders probably have some interest in Lamar Jackson. I doubt they're going to be able to land him. I think the Ravens are going to franchise tag him and keep him. I don't know what other quarterbacks they'd be interested in. Obviously, Carr's gone. He's going to be leaving. I don't know who else is going to come in. Devontae and Aaron Rodgers. I think Devontae wants to play with Aaron Rodgers. I think when Devontae was leaving Green Bay last season, I think a lot of people thought that Rodgers would go to Green Bay with him. Which I don't think the Raiders really were able to find the draft capital to really get both of those guys, and I don't think Green Bay was going to really trade him either. So in that case, that didn't happen. But now Also, the Raiders still believed in Derek Carr. Now that, back then you believed in Carr, you wanted to give him another chance, especially with his buddy from college, Devontae Adams. You thought if you paired, Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, two guys who played tremendous football with each other in college at Fresno State, you thought that those guys would be able to, Derek Carr would be able to become even better than he was the season before, where they made it all the way to the wild card. But no, it didn't, and they didn't even come close to making the playoffs. So, and he got benched. So in that case, now Derek Carr's gone. Now you want to bring in Aaron Rodgers. I think it makes sense. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is definitely a good quarterback without Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers did not look his best self last season. Definitely had some injury problems. I know he had a finger injury. I think it was his thumb. Had some other injury problems. Definitely didn't look himself. Definitely had some problems with the wide receiver group. I think he was starting at the end of the season, the final 4 or 5 games. He was starting to get in a kind of good place with his wide receivers. He, formed a little bit of a bond with Christian Watson at the end of the season. He was playing way better. Him and his wide receivers were starting to, get into the right place, and that was something they weren't able to do earlier in the season. Some of his injuries were starting to heal a little bit better, and Rodgers looked better going into the end of the season. Wasn't enough to get him in the playoffs. So earlier in the season performance really hurt them. And I think, Rodgers going into, he's getting older. He's 38, 39, whatever he is. And I think last year his age started to affect him. And I think once his injuries start to heal, I think he gets better. But I think his age starts to affect him even more. And I think one of the number one wide receivers that has helped Aaron Rodgers tremendously is Devontae Adams, and he's made him a better quarterback. That is one of the number one reasons why they were so good when they were the number 1 seed in the NFC back-to-back seasons. And honestly, I'm not gonna say that they would win the division if Aaron Rodgers goes to Las Vegas, because personally, I predicted Denver to win the division when Russell Wilson came there, and look how that turned out, going 4-13 or 5-12, whatever they were, and just a disaster. But I think things would be pretty good in Las Vegas between Rodgers and Adams, and maybe an improved defense. Rodgers also has way more weapons than Devontae Adams. Way more. Hunter Renfrow, a great wide receiver, didn't have the best 2022 season. I think Devontae Adams' presence kind of took away his play and how good he could be, but also had some injury problems. It was like on IR for like 6 weeks. So in that case, I think that Hunter Renfrow has a better 2023. So you got a great wide receiver 2 in Renfrow, and I think you have a good wide receiver 3 as well. I can't think of his name though. And then going into the tight end situation, you have Darren Waller, definitely I think a top 3, top 5 tight end in the league. Obviously, he's not better than Kelsey. He's not better than Kittle. Probably not better than Andrew. So I think he's like 4. I would say be comfortable saying that Darren Waller is the 4th best tight end in the NFL when he's healthy and he's playing good football. So you got Darren Waller, you got Adams, you got Adams, you got Renfrow, possibly Josh Jacobs re-signing, which that's even more dangerous. So Raiders' offense would be crazy and stacked. So got to improve on the O-line a little bit for Rodgers, and Raiders would look nice. I think definitely Rodgers, what he missed the most last season was Devontae Adams. And I really don't know if things would have looked different for Aaron Rodgers last season if he had Devontae Adams, because I think there was more problems than we know about with Aaron Rodgers. I think that thumb injury caused a little bit in his throwing motion a little bit. And I think once his thumb heals, I think we can really see Aaron Rodgers, become the 2-time MVP again. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know if he could win another MVP. I doubt it. But what I do know is that Aaron Rodgers, I think that thumb will heal. I think he had a shoulder issue, and I think once that blossoms, and if he becomes a Las Vegas Raider and he reunites with his buddy, Devontae Adams, I think Aaron Rodgers would have a great 2023 season. You guys let me know your thoughts on a potential reunion between Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and let me know your thoughts, and peace out.